Hi everyone, David Ward. It is Monday, August 5th, 2024, 7:22 a.m. Central Time, U.S. Alabama. I hope everyone's doing okay today. I'm doing fine, still doing more work on my house. Also determined that I need to replace my um, 3/4 inch reduced pressure valve for my water and my need to replace a 2-gallon backup water heater tank with a 4-gallon, uh, along with three water spigots that are leaking, have a slow leak. Only whenever you turn them on, they leak around. Uh, that's some stuff I'm working on in my house for the immediate time frame, you might say. Trying to get my house done to sell it. But anyway, recently I posted on social media this chart. When we were here, right around in here, we came down, came up, came back down for a higher low, and looked like we were about to go back up again, which we did. I was saying, and by the way, this is the 12-hour time frame. When looking for redistribution or reaccumulation, there is a difference between distribution and redistribution. There's also a difference between accumulation and reaccumulation. Anytime I begin with the word re in front of distribution or redistribution, that's generally lower time frames. For crypto, that would be the 12-hour time frame, sometimes the 6-hour. Like, for example, here, the 6-hour, we would have seen that we went sideways here for a little while. Now I did have this as our preliminary supply range if this was redistribution at the time, because at the time, whenever I posted this, when we were right here, I didn't know if it was redistribution or if this was a period of reaccumulation. Uh, of course, now it definitely looks like redistribution. Potentially full-fledged distribution, meaning it's possible. It's possible. Is it probable? No. Is it possible that we have already seen our top and we are in another rather long period of distribution that could range from 6 months to 12 months? Yes, it's possible. If so, this is something totally new to crypto. Totally new. I would not be surprised, because isn't it also totally new that altcoins have just been hammered, destroyed, period, this entire time? What I believe has been going on, those who manipulate the composite groups, the composite man, but it's really a group of people, potentially several groups. Uh, what has been going on, they would use or have been using altcoins to accumulate Bitcoin. I say again, they have been using altcoins to accumulate Bitcoin. They'll take altcoins up a little bit by accumulating them a little bit, especially like on the altcoin USD tether pairs. Then after accumulating those altcoins, they'll take them over to, on the altcoin USD tether pairs, they'll then take those altcoins over to the altcoin BTC pairs and dump those altcoins for what? BTC, for Bitcoin, on the altcoin Bitcoin pairs. And at the same time, they will also dump altcoins on the altcoin USD tether pairs at the same time, but ultimately to accumulate more BTC. I believe, in other words, why would they accumulate more BTC? To do what they're doing now, especially if we're going into a long-term distribution period, meaning especially if we've already seen our top and we go no higher during this accumulation period that also potentially ends up being a short-term accumulation period when looking at it on the macro. I'm going to show you some time frames, many time frames here shortly, but I just want you to know that it most certainly is possible. Is it probable? At first, I was thinking about 25, 30% probable that we've already seen our top going into a long-term period of distribution. But now especially what I'm seeing with pressure ratios in multiple time frames, I'll show you what I mean by that here in a minute. That probability has increased from around 30, 35% to about 50, 55% probability that we've already seen our top and potentially on the verge of going into a long-term period of distribution. And again, I say those who manipulate the composite groups, I believe they have used the altcoins over the last several months to accumulate more Bitcoin so that once they get enough Bitcoin, they can dump it along with NASDAQ, Dow Jones Industrial, the CME gold, CME silver. Any of you who are thinking gold and silver are about to skyrocket, especially on the CME, that's not gold and silver. That's paper. That's not physical gold and silver in your hands. That's paper, period. Now, they have a harder time manipulating Bitcoin and altcoins because they can't create Bitcoin and altcoins out of thin air the way that they can create CME gold contracts out of thin air and they can create silver contracts out of thin air and Federal Reserve notes out of thin air. I don't call that the US dollar. That's not the US dollar created by the Treasury and all. That's where Trump's going to get us back by gold, a real bona fide US dollar that's backed by gold. We will no longer use a Federal Reserve note that represents or is backed by what they call the full faith and credit or debt of the U.S. It's debt. It's an instrument of debt. That's all the Federal Reserve note is. That is not the U.S. dollar. We will soon have a U.S. dollar after this next election. I know I'm kind of getting into politics, geopolitics in this video publication, but unfortunately, politics and geopolitics, as well as social and economics, play a major role in financials, in assets. That they affect financials and assets, most certainly do. As you know, private Western central banks who are, let's say, teamed up with the IMF and the BIZ, they want desperately a centralized digital currency, CBDC. The IMF already has one created. Other countries are in the process, going through testing phases and all, because they also want them to be able to work. Like, for instance, the Eurozone's CBDC to be able to work in conjunction with the US CBDC. They can be exchanged one from the other. And there's a few other things going on where let's say a Eurozone click and a US click, but you also have an IMF click. Let's say IMF and BIS click, who are all vying or competing for control over whom? All of us. All of us. Every single one of us. They're vying for control. They're competing for control of all of us over everything, not just people, but property, everything, where we own nothing and supposedly be happy. So I believe that they are definitely, potentially, the probability is looking higher that they're going to bring down crypto along with the stock market. Is it going to all of a sudden just wham, go down real hard right now? No. I'm about to get into multiple time frames here shortly where we will discuss that, what we're looking for. My apologies for not having kept up with this lately. I just have felt pushed. I'm probably late as far as getting my house ready to sell, doing all the things that I need to do to it to get it ready to put it up for sale. It may be that I'm too late. By the time I get finished with it and get it up for sale, it may be too late and may still end up working or end up living here and end up having to find a job or create my own job somewhere doing something. I don't know what it would be. If it's an electrical work, hell, it could be yard work, because electrical work, if there's not much building going on in residential or commercial, I don't know that I'd be doing any electrical. I may have to figure out something. I don't know. But enough of that. Anyway, we are about to head into some hard times, and the private Western central banks, they need an event. They actually need multiple events to try to hide or distract everyone from the fact that their monetary system has failed. Not is failing, it has failed. And it's beginning to be obvious to everyone. More and more people are awaking to that fact every day, that something's terribly wrong, especially the young people. Especially the young people. They're beginning to wake up to the fact that they won't ever be able to buy a house the same way that their parents and grandparents were able to. Something's wrong, something goes on, and they're waking up to the fact that the private Western central bank currency system is a fraud, where they create money out of thin air, loan it to governments with interest attached, and the taxpayers have to pay back that money that these corrupt governments borrow along with that interest on money, so-called money, that was created out of thin air. And enough is enough. The great awakening is upon us. More and more people are awaking to that fact around the world. All right, but enough of that. Enough of that. Let's get back to this, that it's rather obvious now that this was not a Wyckoff spring, that this was phase, hold on a second, I don't know how long TradingView is going to give me. I know they go longer than 20 minutes now. They allow us to go more than 20 minutes. That's second test of supply right there. All right, so preliminary supply range right here. Buying climax, automatic reaction, second test of supply. That ended phase A in distribution or potential redistribution. We don't know if we're in full-fledged distribution yet, or if this is just redistribution. We don't know that yet. But bottom line, we'll just say distribution for now. I won't make it confusing by constantly saying either full-fledged distribution or redistribution. I'm just going to say distribution. All right, so again, preliminary supply range right here, followed by a buying climax, automatic reaction, second test of supply. That ended phase A of distribution. Now we go down with a simple reaction, followed by a test of supply, another simple reaction, test and supply, simple reaction, but it continued going down because this was a lower high followed by a lower low. I would call this an exponential reaction because we had a two-tiered distribution schematic right here, two-tiered. Here's the upper tier from the yellow to the magenta, and here's the lower tier from the yellow to the aqua area. All right, so anytime we go from the magenta all the way to the aqua, from this upper tier down to the lower tier, that is an exponential reaction, not just a simple reaction. This is Wyckoff method 2.0. This is not traditional Wyckoff method. This is something I've been creating while, let's just say, evaluating modern day price action. All right, but we have an exponential reaction that came down near our preliminary supply range. We did not close substantially below our preliminary supply range. All right, then we bounced back up with a test of supply, simple reaction, exponential test of supply. So we went all the way back up from this aqua range all the way back up to this magenta range. That's an exponential test of supply. This was not an up thrust after distribution. Yes, it's an up thrust, but it's not an up thrust after distribution. In order to qualify for an up thrust after distribution in phase C, as in Charlie, we just finished phase B here and transitioned into phase C. In order for this to qualify as an up thrust after distribution, we have to close higher than the highest close in phase A or B. In this case, the highest close was in phase A with our second test of supply. So in phase C, in order for this to qualify as an up thrust after distribution, we needed to see a close above this highest close here in phase A on our second test of supply. We did not get that. But do you have to have an up thrust after distribution in order to identify or recognize that we are in distribution? No. You do not have to have an up thrust after distribution in phase C, as in Charlie, for in a distribution schematic. Neither do you have to have a Wyckoff spring in phase C for an accumulation schematic. But we're not talking about accumulation. Let's stay on distribution. All right. So after we have this exponential test of supply, we came down with, I would just call it a simple reaction, came back up again, closed with a lower high. That's a test of supply. Went down with a lower low than the previous low. Back up again, last point of supply. Continued down, back up again, last point of supply. Then we close below our preliminary supply range. We close below our exponential reaction in phase B. When we did that, that's our sign of weakness in phase D. Did we know that at this particular time? No, because this also could have been a period of reaccumulation where this was our potential Wyckoff spring and then go up. And if we would have broke out right here, we would have transitioned and with another sign of strength again, going up to another higher high. But that never did happen. That never did happen. This was not a Wyckoff spring. This was a sign of weakness in phase D, followed by an up thrust, higher low, up thrust, last point of supply event before coming down with a last point of supply, sign of weakness in phase E, where we had a close right here below the lowest close in phase D of our sign of weakness. So this is officially a sign of weakness in phase E of either distribution or redistribution. We don't know yet if we are in full-fledged distribution or if this is just redistribution. We don't know that yet. Now we're about to get into multiple time frames, looking at the indicators in multiple time frames. All right, let me go. Oh, by the way, this blue diagonal trend line, this is the 3-day time frame. If we see a 3-day candle close below this blue diagonal trend line, there's a pretty good chance we could be in long-term distribution, y'all. And that would be at around, let's say 45,000. Around 45,350. If we see a 3-day candle close below 45,350, let's say 45,300. If we see a 3-day candle close below 45,300, there's even higher probability that we've already seen our top and we are in for another long period of distribution. I'm just saying that is possible. All right, let me get to here. This is our that's our immediate and early short-term group. I don't want to look at that. Let me get this back here and let me go to here. All right, let's go to the short-term group. That would be the 12-hour, 24-hour, 2-day, 3-day, 4-day, 5-day, 6-day, weekly. If you're wondering why I have these multiple indicators, this is the original Phoenix Ascending. The original Phoenix Ascending, you can tell by this setup right here. This here is PA, Phoenix Ascending XS. Same here, Phoenix Ascending XS. Only difference is, like the inputs for the red line here, 44. See how the red line here is 40? You still see 9, 6, and this would usually be 3, but I can also do other more specific things, let's say, with the green line, energy, and the red line. Of course, here's the blue LSMA, the blue least squared moving average. But I'm currently playing with especially the red line and the energy and the green line a little bit, just trying to determine what may be better indicator. But then I'm beginning to realize I will probably continue to use the original Phoenix Ascending mainly for pressure races and use one of these other two once I decide which one I like the best as far as the inputs, especially for the red line, to tell me where the price action should be at any given time and whether or not we have overextension, whether it's overextension up or overextension down. I haven't decided on that yet for one of these two. But for pressure races, though, we cannot use this one especially. We cannot use this one. These inputs for pressure races currently has to either be this one or this one. Because you see, this one's 44, this one's 44, the red line. But the energy is different on this one than this one. You may not think so, but they are. And the green line is a little different on this one. You see how this green line is curved here, and that one's not as much. But I'm not going to get into that much more. Let me go ahead and explain something here. Let's go to, let's see, the 10-day time frame. Red line, 44 on the original Phoenix. 44. That's below 50. Red line is gone below 50, triggering downward pressure. What about the 11-day? Red line, 48, It's triggered downward pressure. What about the 12-day? Yes, it's below 50. It's triggered downward pressure. What about the 13-day? Nope, it's at 52. What about the 14-day or 2 weeks? It's at 54. No. So the highest time frame in which our red line is below level 50 would be the 12-day. The red line went below level 50, triggering downward pressure that will last for how long? Until the white energy comes back up to level 50. Until the white energy comes back up to level 50. All right. So since the red line in the 12-day has went below level 50, triggering downward pressure, it has also triggered a pressure race. With which time frame? Well, let's double the 12-day. That would be 24 days. So let's go to the 24-day time frame. 24-day time frame is right here. I'm going to go and bring it full screen. The red line is at level 70. It's nowhere near level 50 yet. We have 22 days, 12 hours remaining in the current 24-day candle. So we're only 1.5 days into this 24-day candle. 1.5 days. This red line here on this indicator, 46, is screaming that we can come down to the basis. The yellow B-band basis at 46,221. Is that below 45,300? Remember 45,300? $45,308. Let's just say 45,300. All right, so again, the red line on this indicator, this is Phoenix Ascending XS, where I have even more control of the red line, the green line, and the energy that I made yellow instead of white. Is screaming that we can come down to the yellow B-band basis that's currently at 46,200 and fluctuating. 46,217 and fluctuating. You see how the red on this one went down from magenta upper. Here's magenta lower. Red went down from magenta upper, and the price is going down from magenta upper. Is the red on the original Phoenix Ascending going down from magenta upper? No. That's why I'm saying I may use one of these. I'm probably this one with its inputs that I have right now. I may end up using this one with its inputs as far as where the price action could go up from or where the price action could go down from at any given time. But I still need to use the original Phoenix Ascending for pressure races, not this one. Could I potentially use this one? Maybe. I haven't really investigated pressure races enough just yet with this newer version of Phoenix Ascending called Phoenix Ascending XS. All right, but right now, and this is going to take a while to play out to determine if the red line in this 24-day can go down below level 50, triggering downward pressure. Keep in mind, this is the 24-day. Can the red line in this 24-day go down below level 50, triggering downward pressure before, here's the 12-day. Let me bring it full screen. Remember, currently, the red line in the 24-day is not below level 50. The red line in the 12-day is. It's triggered downward pressure. That lasts for how long? Till the white energy comes back up. Right now it's still going down. Until the white energy comes back up to level 50. Will the white energy come back up to level 50 in this 12-day before the red line in this 24-day can go below level 50, triggering downward pressure? Can we get upward pressure with the white energy in the 12-day before we get downward pressure with the red line below level 50 in the 24-day? That's going to take some time to play out, y'all. That is going to take some time to play out. Can we look or monitor lower time frames to determine which one of those will win the race? Will it be the red line going below level 50 in the 24-day, or will it be the white energy going above level 50 in the 12-day? Can we look at lower time frames, lower than the 12-day, to determine which one of these two time frames here, 12-day or 24-day? Can we look at lower time frames to determine which one will win the pressure race? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. But still, it's going to take some time to play out. Still, it's going to take some time to play out. Let me make sure, because I'm in a totally different window. I want to make sure. Yeah, there we are. We're still going. We're over 31 minutes now. I don't know how much time they're going to give me, but we'll find out. We will find out. Downward pressure. This is 4-day. Red line's not below level 50. Of course, we are here with this one. I have not tested this one yet in regard to pressure races. But the red line here in the original Phoenix is saying we are drastically overextended down. But hell, even with this one, the red is at 41. It's not below magenta lower. Magenta lower is level 40. The red is not even below magenta lower, but yet the price has gone down from magenta lower. Does that mean I may want to change the red line from 3 to 2? I don't know if I want to do that or not. I don't know if I want to do that or not. I may look into that. In fact, I may change this one to that later on and then apply it to all the rest of them, so that the red line keeps up with even whenever we have overextension. It certainly is possible. I would say if this thing keeps going down, our next stop may likely be 45,300. That's going to be major diagonal support, 45,300. We keep going down, 45,300. That diagonal blue line, that diagonal blue line that I told you that has held support. I even mentioned back here a long time ago that if we close below this diagonal blue line, and we didn't, if we close below it, we're not ready to go up yet, but of course we bounced off of it. Well, same thing here. If we close below it, that could be bad news. That could be bad news. So we're still having to wait on that and see. Let me see something here. I'm going to change this input. Let me get my glasses on. That is a 1.618. Let's change that to 2.0. Okay, let's change it to 2.142. Let's change it to 2.236. All right, since it's 2.236, it will be that color. Is this 1.236? So let's make it that color. And let's make it thicker. All right, and one of these others, let's grab the 786. All right, let's change that to 1.142 and make excuse me, 2.142 and make it yellow. No, I think I'd rather just do 2.0. That may be 2.142. Yeah, I'm going to make it 2.142. I know 2.146 is an actual fib, but I like using 142. That's just a little pet peeve that I have. I like 142 more than 146. Right now, that 1.382. Yeah, right here, that 1.382. So acting, and 382 is just like the 382 up here, the 382 up here. That 382 might be it. That is, it's possible. It's possible. But when I say it, for now, we could bounce off that. Go with up thrust. Go with an up thrust to here. Test that. High or low. Then another up thrust last point of supply before going down again. Sometimes it's like that. Other times it's like this, where we go up again, maybe to this green line. We'd call that a last point of supply before going down again with another sign of weakness in phase E. That could very well be the case. But remember, 45,300. That's the real test right there in regards to whether or not we could potentially be in long-term distribution once again. And we've already seen our top during this accumulation period. That could very well be the case, y'all. And it coincides right along with everything that's going on in the stock market, futures market, uh, the commodities, uh, meaning those who manipulate, the cabal, the globalists who are manipulating everything. They may be doing their work right now to crash everything. But don't forget, we're going to have an event, or in my opinion, multiple events are going to occur. They're going to create these events themselves, and blame it on other groups of people, potentially Russians, potentially Iranians, potentially Chinese, whatever. May blame it on all of them, multiple different events, blame One event blamed on Iran, another event blamed on China, another event blamed on Russia, etc., etc. Bottom line is they need events to be the supposed cause of these crash. Really, we haven't seen the crash yet in the stock market. It's coming. Right now, the composite groups are taking profit, such as Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett, 65 billion here lately, where he sold 65 billion of Berkshire Hathaway's stocks. They're currently dumping, taking profits, but we haven't seen the crash yet. It's coming when we have an event or when we have events, multiple events. I believe it's going to be multiple, especially in the U.S. It's going to be multiple. They need something to cover up for their fraud currencies having been inflated into oblivion to where they're worthless. They need something to cover that up. They need events. All right, 4-day. Let's go back to the near-term group. The 12-hour red line's not getting above yellow level 50 to trigger upward pressure. Definitely need that to get a turnaround in lower time frames. Here's the 3-hour in the top left-hand corner. Is the red line going above yellow level 50? No. We need some upward pressure triggered to pull out of this. So I would say it needs to start with like the 2-3 hour time frame. In this case, the 3 hour. That red line needs to get above level 50, triggering upward pressure that lasts for how long? Till the white energy comes back down to level 50. If the red line in the 3 hour gets above level 50, triggering upward pressure, will the white energy come back down below level 50 in the 3 hour before the red line in the 6 hour can get above level 50 to trigger upward pressure? If the white energy comes back down below level 50 in the 3 hour before the red line can go above level 50 in the 6 hour, then downward pressure resumes. Upward pressure in the 6 hour, red line not going above level 50, did not help upward pressure continue. That's just an example on the pressure race. So for now, I'm telling you, y'all, it looks ugly. It looks ugly. So we're definitely in a distribution period, but the question is redistribution or full-fledged distribution. Let's go to higher time frames. Here's the 2-week, 3-week, 4-week, 5-week, 6-week, 8-week, 12-week, 10-week, 12-week. So 6-week, 8-week, 10-week, 12-week. Red line. And this indicator wants to go down from white upper. Make sure this is the same input. 1, 2, 2, 3. Yeah. This wants to overextend a little bit. This red's going down from white upper. Price is going down from white upper. Of course, we don't see that here. And I'm also considering using this indicator for shorts, original Phoenix for longs, or this one for longs. This one for shorts, this one for longs. There's some things I've been noticing here lately where I may want to also consider that. Like for this one, the red is almost below level 50, triggering downward pressure in the 2-week. The red's at 54 here in the original Phoenix. Let me make sure that's 9, 6, and 2. 9, 6, 2. And this should be 25, not 22. Let me change that for all time frames. What about this one? 9, 6, 1, 2, 2, 3. Oh, that should be 25 as well. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I remember why there was a few months back where I determined for my super macro group that I wanted my blue LSMA to be 22 instead of 25. So let me change all that back. I'm going to leave it at 22. Is this one 22? Yes, it is. Okay. We get a new 2-week time frame in new 2-week candle in 6 days, 11 hours. We also get a new weekly candle in 6 days, 11 hours. Ooh. This red wants to go down from magenta lower. We're right at magenta lower right now, 48,925. That could be our current local support for the next 6 days, 11 hours. That would be 48,919. 48,919. Let's just say 48,900 in the 2-week time frame is our current local support. Could it continue overextending down? Yes, it's possible. Certainly is possible. It could continue overextending down. This 2-week candle, it could. But odds are at the moment, 48,900 may be it potentially for the next 6 days, 11 hours. We may still have to wait, might still have to wait a little bit longer to see us potentially test 45,300. May still have to wait a little bit longer to see if we can come down and test 45,300. This blue diagonal trend line, 45,300. And I was thinking that 1.382, 1.382. Let me see that, how it's gone. Same thing up here, how it's gone. Now I'm going to add it back. And let's make it thicker. Now it's acting as resistance up here. Will it act as support down here on the negative 1.382? This is the positive 1.382 diagonal trend line. This is the negative 1.382 diagonal trend line. It's possible that could be it. I hope it is, and that this is just a period of redistribution. During our macro accumulation, this is a period of redistribution, and it may take a while to resume accumulation once again. We still need more time to pass, more things to play out before we can make that determination. Before we can make what determination? That this is either redistribution or for full-fledged distribution. And let me say this, I do not like seeing bearish divergence. I say again, I do not like seeing bearish divergence. How do we identify bearish or bullish divergence with Phoenix ascending or Phoenix ascending excess? How do we identify it? Well, when price is rising, like from here all the way up to here, we pay attention to the tops of the white energy, or the tops of the yellow energy, or the tops of the pink energy when the price is rising. When the price is falling, we pay attention to the bottoms of the white energy, or the bottoms of the yellow energy, or the bottoms of the pink energy. All right, in this case, the price was rising. We pay attention to the tops of the energy. Delete, 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 delete. Delete. Right, as the price is rising, pay attention to the tops of the energy. They're descending, they're falling. Same thing here with the yellow energy, same thing here with the pink energy. They're falling. That is bearish divergence. Potential bearish divergence. Now, it's possible that this could still bounce back up again. Yes, in other words, this could just be temporary bearish divergence. Like here, the price was rising, the tops of the energy were falling while the price was rising. We had temporary bearish divergence, and it bounced back up again. Unfortunately, we can't see the energy when it went below level 50 back here to see if the energy was rising right here for bullish divergence, or bullish divergence to resume, to continue. Price sideways or falling, sideways or rising. In this case, sideways or falling. We look at the bottom of the energy when the price is falling. When the price is falling, we look at the bottoms of the energy. In this case, they were rising. So in that case right here, we have bullish divergence, and especially with the red and the blue, but especially the red above level 50, yeah, we could go up with expansion with the red and blue above level 50. That's rather obvious with the bullish divergence along with red and blue above yellow level 50. That was obvious, very obvious bullish divergence with expansion. What's expanding? The B bands. Bullish divergence. See that? You don't really see it here with the original Phoenix, but you do with this indicator that I said I may end up using as far as the inputs that I have it set for. I want to look at lower time frames here for a moment. 3 hour. Price is falling, we look at the bottoms of the energy. Price is falling, we're looking at the bottoms of the energy. may be having, like in this 8 hour, a period of bullish divergence building soon, potentially. I'm looking at the 8 hour. But do we see that in the 3 day, the 2 day, the 1 day, or the 12 hour? Yeah, the bottom, while the price is falling, we're looking at the bottom of the energies, and they're currently rising. So can we get a pop back up soon? Yes, we most certainly can. Yes, we most certainly can. I see potential for that to occur. Is it guaranteed? No. No. So remember, bottom line is, especially for the near term, which I'm going to say is 3 hour to the 3 day, 3 hour, 4 hour, 6 hour, 8 hour, 12 hour, 24 hour, 2 day, 3 day. From the 3 hour to the 3 day, we need the red to get above level 50 in that 3 hour, then the 4 hour, then the 6 hour, then the 8 hour. We've got a lot of work to do to get that red back up above level 50, like we were here. Like we were here. Here in the 2 day, the red just went back below level 50. But shoot. And the blue's not even below level 50. And we got expansion down, which also has me wondering if I should also, for this indicator, change my blue. That is a consideration. To line up with expansion when we have both red and blue get below level 50. Expansion, in this case, expansion down. Red and blue above level 50. We can get expansion up. We didn't get it until here, though. So again, remember how I also mentioned earlier where I may use this one for shorts, this one or this one for longs? Because as far as expansion goes, this one works great for shorts, where this one works better for longs. Yeah, I may end up doing that. We'll see. I still need to do some more monitoring of live price action to make that determination. Yeah, I don't know if I want to keep dragging this video publication out much longer, because bottom line is we need the red line in the 3 hour to the 3 day to get above level 50. First, and it needs to start somewhere, in this case the 3 hour. Well, the red line in that 3 hour, it's got a lot of work to do. If I go to the lower time frames, (2 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute, 10 minute, 5 minute, 2 minute, 1 minute. The 2 hour red line, it's below aqua lower. Here's aqua upper. Red is below aqua lower. Here's aqua upper. Red is below aqua lower. Price remains below, aqua lower. I wonder what that orange